Hello and welcome, everyone. I'm honored to be one of thousands of certified Chopra health instructors around the world to be sharing some more of the ancient Vedic wisdom traditions with you today. So, we've already discussed in our two prior sessions before how meditation is the antidote to stress, as well as meditation, thoughts, and the gap. So, today our focus will be on the third key point, which is the software of the soul. And for all this field of silence, this field of infinite possibilities, the question always arises, are we all the same person? And it's one of these interesting questions that has a yes and a no answer to it because, yes, we are all part of that same field. Yes, we are all part of that silence, that infinite possibilities. And this is what we call spirit. Now, the spirit is that universal consciousness that connects everything in creation. In modern physics nowadays, they talk about a unified field that connects everything throughout the whole of creation. So we're all part of that. You, me, every tree, every bird, every plant, every animal. We're all connected at that level of spirit. And to fully appreciate the value of meditation, you will also need to fully understand the software of the soul and how it can actually limit us. However, in that field of infinite possibilities, we each choose our own possibility. Most of us make our own decisions based on habit and conditioning, whether we know it or not. You might choose to drive a nice car. I choose to rather stay in a comfortable home. Somebody else might choose to party all the time. So we all make our own choices. And it's the choices that we make that give us our individuality. And this is where the no is from in the question whether we are all the same. Our soul is the individual expression of spirit or universal consciousness. And the choices that we make are based on our memory and desires. Your memory and desires are different from mine. And so the choices you make will also be different from mine. Memories and desires are created by our activity. So whenever I do an activity, it creates a memory. And now this memory then leads to a desire. And the desire then leads to another action. But this is limited possibilities because my choices, the possibilities I choose, are confined by my memories and desires, if you like. And this cycle, if I can call it, is what ultimately makes up the software of the soul. So when I talk about memories, desires, and actions, let's say you haven't had any caffeine for years, but one morning after an unusually late night, you decide to go and grab a quick cup of coffee to help you get through the day. And this seems harmless, right? But this action, also known as karma, can create a memory of feeling more awake and alert, which we refer to as samskara. Your brain will now associate that feeling with the cup of coffee that you had. The next morning, although you've had plenty of rest, you experience an unfamiliar desire to experience the same feeling of energy and alertness that you had the previous morning. So, without really thinking about it, you grab your keys and you drive to the nearest coffee shop. The next day, you experience the same feeling and seek out that morning coffee again. Without even realizing it, you end up creating a routine, visiting the coffee shop every single day. Eventually, you find yourself needing a cup of coffee, or maybe even a few, every single morning. So, you don't really understand how you got there in the first place, but it was that first cup which began the cycle of action, memory, and desire. Now, coffee seems like a mild analogy. However, the same would go for drugs, alcohol, and even overeating, as well as any other decision, really, if you think about it. Even with actions like taking something that doesn't belong to you, or something as bad as cheating on your partner, your body will send signals that this is wrong, but the desire keeps you going back for the same memory or the experience. Now, meditation can help you not only break free from this cycle, but help avoid entering it altogether. So, even though we think we have free will, and I'm sure if you ask any person in the street, do you have free will? They will most probably say, of course, I've got free will. Well, most people really don't. because we follow these same conditioned responses, these same habits over and over again. Usually, people won't agree with this statement, and if you don't believe this, then take a look at your life and ask yourself, how many of the things do you do the same way over and over again? And then you wonder why you are not really progressing or feel like you're not really getting anywhere in life. So these are the limited possibilities that we live our lives by, where we like this little mouse on the treadmill. We're running and we're running and we're running, thinking we're getting somewhere, but we're really not, because all we're doing is going around and around in this vicious cycle. So what meditation does, especially primordial sound meditation, it takes us beyond this field, because all the memories and desires are in the thinking process. And when we transcend thought and we go beyond thought, that's when we slip into the gap, the space between our thoughts. We step into that field of infinite possibilities. And we basically bump into our true self. And then we start to bring that person back into our daily lives. We start to expand our possibilities. You know, it's kind of like a self-made prison that we've created, this limited possibilities. But the great benefit of meditation is that we start to expand our horizons and we can eventually break free from this self-made prison that we've created. So, and as we meditate, and this is also we as teachers emphasize the importance of regularity of meditation, because every time we go there, we open that door a little bit further. Every time we go to meditate, we go to this field of infinite possibilities, and we bring a little bit back more into our daily lives. We start to expand that. So that little gap that's already there for most people. But now as we continue to meditate, it starts to expand. And it expands during our meditation. And after our meditation, it closes, but it still stays open a little bit more until eventually it's fully open and it remains that way. And we get to enjoy that silence and that field of infinite possibilities. Now, you can then recognize the opportunity to move away from all the old patterns, consciously choosing the life you want to lead. So instead of being used by your memories, you can use them to experience greater joy, creativity, and love. The great news is that you can reprogram your soul software by becoming consciously aware of the choices you make. And you do that by developing witnessing awareness by following these 4 easy steps. First, witness the choices that you make in each moment, because by witnessing your choices, you bring the decision-making process from the unconscious realm into the conscious realm. Next, stop and reflect. When you make a choice, ask yourself these questions. What are the consequences of this choice? Will this choice bring happiness and fulfillment to me? And will it bring happiness and fulfillment to the others it affects? Then tune into your inner wisdom. As you consider the choice before you, pay special attention to the sensations in your body. Let the feelings of comfort or discomfort guide you. Most people receive messages of comfort or discomfort in the area around their heart, where others receive it in the solar plexus. This is the proverbial gut feel. Finally, just listen to your body. Placing your attention on your heart or solar plexus, ask your body, how do you feel about this choice? If your body sends feelings of comfort and eagerness, go ahead with the decision. But if it sends signals of physical or emotional distress, carefully consider the outcome of the consequence of your choice. Over time and with regular meditation practice, we can begin to spontaneously make choices that are right for us, this rewriting and rewiring the software of our soul. I thank you so much for your time today, and I trust that together with all the Chopra teachers around the world, we gave you some tools to start becoming consciously aware of the choices you make daily. Start listening to your bodies so that you too can start changing the software of your soul. Namaste.